Temperatures are very low, inventory is even lower, but buyers are hot.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
Really hot. We've created for you over 423 episodes with insider tips, real estate insights, how to make house home, creating wealth and harmony. And here's the great news is you can get a hold of these episodes at home, on the go, or even in your office if you still get to go there.
Yes, so buyers are hot. What do I mean by that? There's leftover pent-up demand of buyers that haven't found a home yet. And maybe they've been looking for 3 months, maybe 4 months, maybe 5 months, maybe even a year. They might have put in 5, 6, 7. I've heard of 10 offers on different properties.
I heard 52 from somebody.
What?
Yeah.
No, that was the total number of offers she'd done, not for one buyer. Seriously? One buyer? 52?
Between getting a house for anybody.
Yeah.
So it was 52 offers without actually procuring a house. Maybe it wasn't the same buyer, but regardless. Okay. But Ken, can you imagine the paperwork involved? Like, can you imagine the paperwork involved in writing 52 offers and not winning any of them for your client? Now, that's a conversation that you want to have one-on-one with us, because that's not necessary in this market or in any market. No, really. That's
never had that happen.
No, we've never experienced that. So in this episode, what you're going to learn is that many times our clients have been shocked, because they're thinking this isn't the time. It can't be now that it's time to sell. And yet, when they've relied on our experience and seen what 31 years of navigating the market, and actually, if you add up the team, we're talking over 80 years. That was kind of scary when I did the math.
What?
Yeah, I know.
80 years of experience?
Yeah, 80 years.
How did that happen?
I know. How did that happen? How did it happen? Anyway, when they rely on that, they're shocked and surprised by the amazing results that are actually there to be had, even in February. And if you're watching a replay of this, you're thinking, well, it's July. Well, it doesn't matter what time of year we're having a conversation. There's insights that you can't learn if you haven't done a ton of experience, right? If you haven't done a lot of sales. I mean, we've helped, over 2,750 families navigate the buying and selling.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I guess you just say a lot. Yeah.
So what happens if maybe you say to us, well, why would I put it on in February? Because I need to move in like 4 months or 5 months, or, my relocation's going to happen in the summer. What about that, Yetta?
Well, what's incredible is I had a client, actually. We did a Zoom call because we weren't face-to-face. It was still pretty much the height of COVID. And they said, we're not moving till next year. It's 7 months from now, almost 8. I guess it was 9 when we started the conversation. So we're not sure what's going to happen with the prices. We're not sure what the market's going to be like, where we're going. It's
9 months? You can have a baby in 9 months.
Well, so we had a conversation and we talked about the merits, the downs, the ups, what were the risks of putting it on now? Well, the one risk is they wouldn't know for sure that the market wasn't going to be even stronger when it came time to move. The risk was also, what if the person couldn't get their financing when the time came? So that's a risk you want to think about. The other risk was, what if the prices dropped and the appraisal didn't come in? So we explored all those possible risks, and then we talked about the upsides. The upsides are always kind of fun. And the upsides were, well, if I know my house is sold, then I can go buy what I want when I want.
At leisure.
Basically, yeah. And I have no pressure about timeline. And the other incredible thing they decided was, I also know for sure how much money I have to spend.
Yes.
I've got my money in my pocket.
So inquiring minds want to know what happened, Yetta. What happened? What happened?
What happened? It was actually really cool. I gave them all the information, laid out their options. Options are wait. Options are do it now. Third option could be never do it. However, that wasn't going to happen for these folks because they were going to move back home. And so Ottawa wasn't their original home, so they wanted to go back where their kids were, and that's fantastic. So we laid out the two options. I gave them some time to go think, did some more research to kind of get a feel for what was the probability of it all coming together and how many buyers, so this was another risk, how many buyers would we lose because they weren't willing to wait? And then I thought of something pretty incredible. How long does it take? How long does it take to wait for a new build? If you want a new home,
Good question. A year, 2 years?
it could take 6 months. It could take 1 year. It could take 2 years. 18 months seems to be close to average right now. So I thought, well, as long as I advise the realtors and the buyers up front, it may reduce the showings a little bit. However, I don't think it's going to eliminate our showings. So guess what they did? They decided to wait. No, actually they didn't. They decided to do
You're
it.
such a tease.
I know, right? My favorite thing. I've lived with you a long time. I've been teased a lot. So I got to do a little bit of payback.
Okay.
So
Bottom
line is we got it on the market. We had our 38 showings. We
In
had
how long?
8 days.
38 showings in 8 days.
Yeah, 38
Did
and 8.
you just ask them to move out?
Pretty much. And then we actually, because it was getting a little hard on homeschooling and the dog, and we actually blocked off some times where they could have a date night and have dinner in their own house. And we said no thank you to showings a couple of times.
Wow.
So that we got some life in the midst
And how
of
many
that.
offers?
5 offers ended up showing up. And the incredible thing is the offer we ended up accepting, not only did they give us our date, they actually gave us a flex date. So when there's high demand and low inventory, as a seller, you have flexibility beyond. That's what the point of this message is.
And then they got money.
Oh, they got a lot of money.
And then they got, I think, one of the largest deposits I've seen for our residential practice. And commercial, sometimes you get some really, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 deposits.
Well, it was up there.
It was, $100,000
And
deposit.
the people that bought it didn't need financing. So the risk of appraisal, the risk of any of those risks that had been out there were gone, and they gave them a flex closing. So if we find something sooner, we can, with 45 days written notice, move the date.
Right.
So it was phenomenal. So those things actually exist. Those are real life, real time, not made up stories. These are the things.
You can't make that stuff up.
You can't make it up. No sensationalizing at all. So if you're thinking, I want in on that, I at least want the information for my house, for my neighborhood, so that I can decide for myself.
Right.
You know what to do.
Yeah, go ahead and spring into action and give us a call. We would just love to just talk to you about your property, give you an idea on valuation. Even if you decide not to sell, you're armed with some great information.
Well, and information is king. Well, and queen, and even jester. No, like really, when you have the information.
No, I'm the jester.
Yeah, you are the jester. So it's at least king and queen. So when you have the information, you can make the best decision possible. We are so grateful that we have the privilege of coming alongside you as you make real estate and life decisions. Thank you.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.